Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. And yeah, tonight we're looking at the Vidi Vici update to World of Warships Legends, which drops on August 31st, 2 to 5 a.m. Central Time. And it looks to be about 2.4 gigs, so yeah, those of you with slow internet, beware. And with that, let's just get right into it. So for all you guys who want to read the patch notes below, there'll be a link in the description below, and you guys can get this, but I'm just going to quickly summarize things as I read along with them. So it looks like this update is going to be adding the Riga Marina, also known as the Italian Navy. We're getting the cruiser lines in the form of early access, as well as a single battleship, which is Roma, which will be the main centerpiece of the campaign, the Veni Vidi Vici campaign. And we're also going to get Camo Management, which is, we'll see more into that, and more ways to get through this. So let's first get into the Vidi Vici campaign. Roma comes in at tier 7, boasting high speed, great maneuverability, and 381mm, so 15-inch guns, pretty standard with all our battleships so far. Quick traversing turrets apparently, and supposedly making switching between targets much easier. So 15-inch guns with 15 kilometers range and 40% torpedo protection, not bad. That's up there with Alabama and a few other at the tier 7 ships, so we'll see how that goes. And so 100 milestone campaign, same as normal, and what we're going to see is 5 weeks of it. We're going to get our new Admiralty backing, which is Lyra, for this update, and we'll receive several Italian cruiser crates as well as Italian commander crates to bolster our fleet and roster. The weekly missions are cumulative this time, so they won't reset or disappear each week. However, the shakedown trials are going to be locked out by the endurance trial chain, so just note that. It looks like we're going to get 1 to 5 weeks of it. 1 to 4 are going to get cumulatively harder and a slight decrease on week 5. So with this, we're always going to see, I'll leave the rewards here without Admiralty backing for you guys if you want to take a look at it. So what I'm going to note are the big main ones, which are the 7 days premium, 1 large Italian crate, and 5 small cruiser crates, and the patron symbol. And you'll get 300 free balloons, which is nice. And with Admiralty backing, you'll get a whole bunch of extra stuff, but 2,500, pretty standard. And yeah, of course, Roma. And I always recommend you purchase Admiralty backing because it's the biggest bang for your buck. And with that, let's just get right into the Italian cruisers, guys. So we're going to get the tier 1 and tier 2 cruisers via research, and the tier 3 through 6 we'll end up getting through the early access crates, which can be found in the campaign and the store as usual. And there's going to be 2 grades, the regular and the large, but this time we're also going to have a caveat in it where the lower tier ships are going to be found more common in the crates than the higher tier. What we're getting is 203mm guns, so really nice at the higher tiers, and respectable torpedo armament. We'll see about that, how they come out in Legends. But we'll need to be very careful in using them, as their armament is reminiscent of the British. And let me just apologize to all people who speak Italian or are Italian who watch my videos beforehand. So what we're going to see is at tier 1 and tier 2, the Taranto at tier 2, and the Nino Bicial at tier 1. And that'll be your research, and then you'll get tier 3, Alberto del Giussiano at tier 3, tier 4, the Rimandio Montecoli, I think is how you say it, again, and at tier 5 we're going to get Trento, and tier 6, Zara, and then finally, in the next update, we'll get Amalfi at tier 7, and as always, with the recent ships, early access cruisers will come bundled with a personal message that can be only completed once. And we're also getting 4 new Italian commanders apparently, so let's see how these are. So again, apologies for any pronunciations errors I make. I don't speak Italian, and that's something I'm gonna have to learn to play if I'm gonna play these. So our default commander is Inigo Campatone, Campon, uh, Campan, Campanoi, I think is how you say it. Uh, Again, sorry, horrible pronunciation. And his base trade's going to be Spartan, which is going to reduce all incoming damage by 0.2% per rank, up to a total of 4. So that'll be nice for all your cruiser commanders. You're just going to, well, all ships all ships. So you're going to get 4% DR at max rank, which is nice. And we're also getting Francisco Mimbelli, who's a cruiser commander. Make a move is his base trait. Reload time decreased up to a total of 6%, which is nice. Skills, I'm not insane. Ooh, wow. Reduces your torpedo range by 40% statically, but also increases the speed and concealment. That's going to be nice. And also very interesting depending on how you like your Italian cruisers. Luigi Sansonetti, Aegis, so reducing all damage up to a total of 6% on your cruiser. Reducing the AP fuse timer 90% static, but increases their damage and increases your shell grouping. So you're supposedly should help against lightly armored targets and reduce the number of overpens, so we'll see how that goes. And then finally we have the Calais de Revel battleship. So his skill is time to escape. Time is of the essence, my bad. Improves the reload speed of your battleships. Oh wow, that could be good for a lot of battleships. A total of 6% reload. You could get Jean Bar and some of the other battleships pretty low down in the reload times there. But his skill is going to be Ardent Touch, which is increasing the fuse timer for the AP shells of your battleships by 10% static, and increases their penetration rating. So it's allowing your battleship the ability to citadel other battleships when taking it, but also will also increase your chance of overpenning on higher armor targets, lightly armored targets. So finally, it's time to get into the big changes. We are getting improvements to legendary skills, finally, after a whole bunch of time we've been asking for it. So now there's going to be an active component that activates whenever you're close to an enemy or an ally, dependent on the skill. And Equilibrium of Power, so the Russian skill has been moved to become a legendary skill, legendary tier skill. For anyone who already has stuff, already reached account level 7 will get 2 personal commendations, and anyone who's got Nikolai Khrushchev or Makarov will also receive the accommodations universal accommodations accordingly. So we'll see the new skills. So there's going to be 4 distances in the brackets below. So the first one will be Unstoppable. We'll look at. So speeds up our damage. Oh wow! So we're going to get 50% damage control party cooldown when in proximity of a spotted enemy ship. At tier 1, 3 kilometers. Tier 2, 4.5. 6 at tier 3, and 7.5 at tier 4, which is nice. Fully packed is getting a interesting change. So speeds up the consumable reload time when in proximity to an allied ship. 1 to 1.5 at tier 1, 2 at tier 2, 2 and 3/4 at tier 3, and 3.5 kilometers at tier 4. So that'll be a nice change. Will the rebuild automatically activate the repair party effect if the ship is lower than 20 HP, independently of whether or not you have the consumable, whether or not the consumable is active or available or not. Restoration can. Oh, wow! When you're in proximity of an allied ship, That is a huge change. Nelson and a lot of the British battleships, Vanguard and stuff, are about to get a huge buff to healing, if you think about it that way. But you have to be in proximity to an allied ship at maximum 3.5 kilometers. So that'll be a huge change. So next we have Give Me Speed, which is, wow, increase the destroyer's maximum speed by 10% when in proximity to an enemy. 7.5 kilometers at max. So that can be big for some of the cruiser destroyers that are already going to be pushing, like the French destroyer La Fantastique, who's going to be pushing 50 knots with engine boost already. So you're going to be looking at close to almost 60 knots on some of these destroyers. Next, we move into Leviathan, which is decreased rudder shift time when in proximity of an enemy, maximum 7.5 kilometers. Again, that's going to be nice for some ships that are going to like rudder shift time. It'll help out a bunch of them as it is. Next, we go to Rather Be Torching, shortens the duration of your increased detectability by 30% after firing main gun on a destroyer when in proximity to an ally at maximum 3.5 kilometers. That'll be nice, because there's a few gunboat destroyers. The U.S. Z-23 to an extent, and the new French destroyers that'll get a huge buff out of that. Refill Station is getting a huge change, which is increasing your cruiser's maximum firing range by 10% when in proximity to an allied ship. And this is more than likely going to be changed because you already see cruisers packing up as it is, and that'll be at 3.5 kilometers max. If you get a radar and a smoke cruiser, they're basically just going to sit on top of each other, and some of the one of them cruisers already have like 19 kilometers range already, so you're going to see like 20 kilometer range cruisers. We're probably going to see a big change to that. By the book, reduces incoming damage to your cruiser when approximating to an allied ship. Really? So cruisers are just going to basically want to sit on top of each other is what this is telling me. Again, 3.5 kilometers, but wow. Farsight reduces incoming torpedo damage to your ship by 30% when approximating to an allied ship. That'll be nice. 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers, well, at tier 1, and then 1 and 2, and then 3.5 at tier 4. So it'll definitely be nice. Running with Scissors, ooh. So increases your battleship's main gun shell damage by 15% when in proximity to an enemy ship. So it's basic at maximum 7.5 kilometers. So you're basically going to slug it out. Bismarck and a lot of the German battleships are going to like that. Mainly for the main guns. Some battleships are definitely going to have a harder time with that than others. And finally, well, second to last, wow, Smogathon. So there's a few questions I have about this. I'll ask after. So increases your torpedo speed by 10 knots when in proximity to an allied ship at maximum 3.5 kilometers. Wow. So Udachi pushing 90 knot torps. This is going to be crazy. But first question is, are your torpedoes going to slow down if you leave the allied ship, or is it like you drop in proximity to your teammate and then just let him go? Wow. Because if it's like that, we're going to see some destroyers are just going to be crazy when you think about it that way. Because you could double Udachi and just throw torps out at people insanely. And finally, we have Equilibrium of Power. So it's been moved to legendary tier, so you're going to get higher AP damage and at the cost of your HE shell's reduced fire chance by 2%. And so we should also note that skills that require enemy ships to be within a certain proximity also have to have them be actively spotted, which is good. So let's just move on to the content, the Transformers thing that's being added in the next update. So it looks like we're getting 4 new commanders. We're going to end up getting Optimus Prime and Bumblebee representing the Autobots, and Megatron and Rumble representing the Decepticons. And Optimus Prime is going to be commander of the Iowa, and it's going to be English voiceover only, so sorry to all those people who don't have English as their first language. And they're going to be 4 new base traits, 1 for each robot, and 2 new skills, each type receiving 1, so we'll see what this is. And the skins will provide cool animations for in-port and in battle. We'll see about that. I don't like the skin personally, so I probably won't end up running it on most of them, but we'll see them. And we'll be able to get the commanders as well as the skins from the store directly, but you also have a chance of finding them in the Cybertronian containers, and flags patch as well will be available through missions. Optimus Prime commanding Iowa gets the Reconstructor base trait, which is reduced repair party cooldown time by up to 6%, and the skill Revocation Protocol shortens the duration of fires on your ship by 5 to 20% and decreases spotter plane cooldown by 10 to 30. That's nice. I like the skill. Probably won't be using Optimus as a commander because I don't like that skill, because I'd rather just have the HP on my Iowa and American battleships, but that skill really does make it kind of tempting. So we'll get Bumblebee on the Fletcher apparently. Overboost, increase the duration of your engine boost by up to 20%. Wow. And calculated inversion is the skill. Drastically improves the rudder shift time by 40 to 70% when your engine boost is active, and boost acceleration up to 40 to 100% while smoke generation is active. My bad. But also makes your smoke screen dissipate 30% faster. It's just static. And I don't really like that. Then we move on to Megatron, who's commanding Bismarck. Cyber Lens increases your battleship's main gun firing range by up to 6%. And then again, Revocation Protocol. So the skill I like. I don't like the base trait. Probably won't be using Megatron on Bismarck either. And then Rumble for Tashkent, Robotic Breath. Increase your destroyer's main gun range by up to 6%. And then calculated inversion. So that's Still would probably prefer my normal commanders that I would normally end up using. So let's move on to the French destroyers. Whether you gave these smokeless speedsters a spin or not in the previous update, you almost certainly met them in battle, yeah. Pretty much every tier except tier 2 and the tier 7. So you can now fully research these gunboats, including Le Fantastique, complete with main battery reload booster for her 139mm guns, and engine boost is also present, which is nice. So she's going to be pushing the lower 50s on occasion with the engine boost, and she's going to probably be competing for the title of gunboat with the Fletcher. Maybe with the main battery active. I don't think she'll be able to beat Fletcher's 2.5 second reload on the main guns. That's a definite push. So let's move on to the big change I've been waiting for, which is the camouflage management. So it's time we get to choose the colors, the camouflage we want to turn permanent. Interesting. So that means our Black Friday camos will be permanent. We'll find out in a minute. So we can convert any disposable camouflage into a permanent one by using the new currency paint. Your camo collection is about to get a lot more interesting. We'll find out what you can do with it. So we can upgrade any disposable number of disposable camos into permanent for any part. Okay, so a single particular ship. That'll be nice. The camo will receive grade 1 status after the upgrade, 0.5% bonus. Okay, and the upgrades to new permanent camos at higher grades, improving concealment along with shell dispersion stat. And we'll also be able to create historic camos, which will be rolled out later, and that'll be updated on a regular basis. And we'll be able to melt down disposable camos into paint to use for upgrade for this creation. So making permanent camos to disposable will take different numbers depending on the sets and the camo. However, it'll always cost the same: 150 from grade 1 to 2, 250 for grade 2 to 3, and 350 to grade 3 to 4. And whenever buying a camo that you already have, it'll be different, but you'll receive for grade 1 75, grade 2 150, grade 3 250, and grade 4 350. And that we'll also note that premium ships will also be released with different grades in the future. Get different grades of premium camo in the future. So let's move on to the final features of this update, which are the miscellaneous improvements, and we'll be able to filter our Italian ships and commanders to receive their own. They'll receive their own commanders in the menu, of course. Boosters can now be converted in bulk. Yes. How many times have I had to? How many times have we asked for this, and it's finally happening? So unused personal accommodations are displayed in the commander's menu, so it'll be commander portraits in the menu, which will be nice. So we just know that, hey, look, faster, that we just can be like, hey, look, I haven't put a legendary skill on you, or I need to upgrade the legendary skill on you, so that'll be nice. Enabled voiceovers for Mexican Spanish, so all those people who speak in Mexico who speak Spanish, which probably most of the population, I would assume, you can finally have that voiceover option. Water splash effects have been changed to be more realistic, apparently. Liberty bonds from last update will be converted. UI will now supposedly be smoother, which will be nice. Artwork being changed except for Anton Gurn and the Russian commander. Tier 1, except for Albany and Chikuma, have been removed until you hit tier level 3, and that's account level 3, so yeah, we'll see. That's probably just to make it so you have you get to know a few ships. And then we're going to be several patches have been realigned, and so they look better. And then several premium ships have been moved into the ships menu from the store, just so you have easier access to them. And then finally, we have a few bug fixes, which is just delaying UI elements and stuff. The major one, focus frame disappearing from commanders whenever player entered the assign commander menu. Okay. The battle timer sometimes switches to an incorrect color upon battle ending, orange to white instead of white to orange. Okay. Incorrect focus framing. Yeah, that's okay. Rare cases of campaign window not refreshing right after acquiring Admiralty backing. That's nice, so that'll fix. And there's no other real major bug fixes that we need to worry about, so let's move on to the premium ships that may or may not be added in this update. So first we have Tier 4 Julio Caesar that may be added for doubloons. Tier 6 Italian cruiser Duca de Gade Abruzzi added for doubloons. Tier 5 British cruiser London, which will be absolutely amazing. And then, which will also be added for doubloons. And finally, what I can't wait to see if it's added, Tier 7 French battleship Gascon added for 750,000 global experience. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more content, and join us in the Discord below. That's all I got for you guys tonight, and see you guys in the next video. Bye now.